everybody, welcome back to Rowe Country and welcome if you're new. Today we're continuing the 25 Days of Christmas with this super cute Modern Country Farmhouse Snowman. Stay tuned. Okay, everybody, so everything with the exception of one item is actually from the Dollar Tree on this DIY. It is so awesome. I picked up these small wreath forms at Dollar Tree, but if you cannot find these, there are round forms that you can find in the Christmas section with tinsel wrapped around them. You just want a smaller size for the DIY that we're doing today, and you want to make sure that the basket that you choose for your hat, you know, that the round circle does fit inside. So when you're in the Dollar Tree, make sure you're looking for that. Now what I did was I took one of the white car cloths and I trimmed around it loosely so that I could have two pieces that I would be able to hot glue to this form. Now what I'm doing is just taking it around the edge, but guys, I'm not going all the way around. I'm going to leave about a quarter open, as you can see down there at the bottom. That's going to allow me to take these chenille stems or these pipe cleaners and attach the two round pieces together after I have hot glued them in this manner. Trim away any of the excess fabric. You're not going to need all that bulk on the back. Okay, so I'm going to bring you in close so that you can see what I'm talking about here. We do have the extra fabric that is sort of, you know, not attached yet to the frame. And that is because I've attached a pipe cleaner or a chenille stem to the one side. We're going to loop this under the frame on the other side. And then we're going to work our fabric around so that it also covers the majority of the chenille stem. So just, you know, take your time with this. Make sure that you're pushing your extra fabric back to the back from the front, just sort of like I'm doing here. And then you'll take your chenille stem and you will just, in a rotating manner, put it down so that it brings both pieces together really well. Now, before you finish attaching the chenille stem in that twisting motion to kind of tighten it down, go ahead and use your hot glue and attach the rest of the car cloth to each of the frames, and then go ahead and finish it off. That way you know that you don't have any extra fabric sort of bulky in the front. Now, take your time with this. You know, pushing that fabric through can be a little frustrating. So, you know, just have a little patience with it. It'll be fine. Trim off the excess pipe cleaner or chenille stem in the back. Use a finger protector and some hot glue and push that into the glue. I'm doing that so that it doesn't scratch my surface when it hangs on the wall. And we're even going to go a step further in a little bit. Now, I picked up this essential basket in black. I also picked up a white one in a recent haul, but what I'm going to do is use my own pressure, and I'm going to push from the front of the basket against the basket and against my desk until I have the basket like in this manner. It needs to be nice and flat in the back, but you want the rest of this to be rounded in the front. So just use some, you know, pressure, but don't force it down in a fast manner. You want to really sort of work with this. Turn it around and then start to take the front part and curl it back on itself. Use your thumbs and your fingers to guide it into this shape where it's starting to create a rim on the front of this little hat. Now, because he's going to be hanging against a wall or a door, again, it's really important that you get the back as flat as possible, and then use your fingers and your thumb to create the rim of the hat, and make sure that you pay attention to these corners, and you really want to sort of push those up into the basket as well. But this is what you're going to have when you're done, so work with it just a little bit. Now I'm going country modern farmhouse. That red and white check would have been great if I were going in the red scheme for my front door. Guys, Dollar Tree has so many options for ribbon. This could go any way that you want it to go, and I think those little burlap ones would have been perfect too. But I'm going with this black and white buffalo check. It's sort of a theme for my modern farmhouse decor for Christmas this year. And I'm just going to take the ribbon just as it is, where it's cut off, and I'm going to start to attach this to the basket in the back. Now, I'm one of these people that don't care so much if things overlap in the back and the seams aren't perfect. So if this is going to bother you, the way that this ends up, then you'll want to start your hot glue at the top of the rim of the hat in the back. I didn't do that, and I'm totally fine with it. However, I am taking this ribbon and the edge of it, and I am going all the way around the rim, or what would be the bottom rim of the hat if it were sitting in its proper position. That was just where I decided to go ahead and line it up. Now I've taken more of this ribbon and I've folded it over, I think 3 or 4 times, and I just created just this fold just like this. And I did hot glue it at the edge just to keep it together. I'm going to create one of these W bows or an M bow. You know, Crafts by Caitlin, Jerry Ann Henson. These are the people that I've learned to do bows from, and when I do them, I always try to do this type of bow. So you bring it up into an M shape just as I folded it there, and then I'm just taking a little bit of my twine, and I've wrapped it around just to make it nice and tight there in the center. I'm taking the edge that I started wrapping with and I'm hot gluing it down, and then I also did that on the other end after I cut it off. Then I'm taking this tiny little piece of ribbon and I'm folding it over in thirds. That's why I cut it the way that I did. And I like this buffalo check because it's really easy to make, you know, this a perfect size piece. I'm going to hot glue that around the center where the twine is, just to cover it up and to give it a really nice finished look. Okay guys, once it's all connected, just use your fingers and round out your bow. It's going to be nice and fluffy and look really cute. Okay guys, now the fun part. We're going to bring in some of these floral picks, and the majority of these are from Dollar Tree. I think this one is from Hobby Lobby on clearance, and I also picked up this at Walmart. It was 97 cents, and I really like the frosted look of this. The idea for me is to have decor that will go Christmas and then also through winter, and I think this little snowman's going to do that for me, especially with this iced piece. And that was the base for the florals on this hat for me. You guys, again, can go totally rogue and change up your colors. You can change up the types of florals that you're using, whatever you want to do. Now these two pieces, these are heather from Dollar Tree, and they're super glittered, but I just started with the ice in the back, added the heather, and then that little bit of the rounded berries that I got from Hobby Lobby. So I pulled all of those together. You would never know that all of this isn't from one place. Like, you would never know that this isn't high-end store Hobby Lobby type of florals, guys, and I think that's what makes it so great. I just took my bow after it was all fluffed up, hot glued it there to the base where the florals ended, and that's really my look on this hat. It is so adorable. I absolutely love it. Now remember guys, I said make sure that your round piece fits inside of the hat or the basket. This is why. Take some chenille stems, use the frame, and just loop those around to attach the hat to the head of our snowman. And then I took a popsicle stick and I did go ahead and add some hot glue there just to, you know, sort of make sure that that didn't scratch my door when it was hanging. I'm taking one of these fleece scarves. Again, guys, you can do whatever pattern you want. For my size snowman, I cut it in half, And now I'm going to cut it so that I have the pattern on this, but I'm going to use the wider part. So for my pattern, there's like 5 lines. I cut off 3 and that's what I'm using. I'm just going to figure out how far down I want it to hang. I left the fringe on it. I thought it was really cute. I just tucked the part that was cut underneath and I'm wrapping it around this guy's neck, and then I'm going to hot glue it in place. He's going to have a cozy scarf that matches his hat. I'm just really loving this Modern Country Farmhouse looking snowman for my decor this winter and for this Christmas season. After I finished hot gluing him down around in the back, I did bring the scarf around and just glued it down with some hot glue there just so that the scarf would stay in position. Now I brought in some of these buttons that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I didn't find any flat black ones and I didn't want to spray paint these, but I will tell you these lean more of a gray, like a dark gray color. And I really thought that it added a little bit of contrast to the black and white theme, and I'm really loving actually the color tone of those. So I used those as the buttons down the front of my snowman. But he needs a nose, guys, and I really didn't want to go downstairs into my bins and look through all of my spring decor to find some carrots. I thought I'd go ahead and try to make a nose for this guy, and I think it turns out cute. So if you don't have any of the carrots from springtime, you can use some pumpkin chalk paint from Waverly and just a piece of burlap. And I painted it, let it dry, and now I'm going to twist it into a position so that it's a nice long, almost like long carrot looking stick. Remember the long carrots that you used to be able to buy at the grocery store? And you might still be able to do that. I know we buy the mini ones. And for me, this just brought back memories of the longer carrots that you used to be able to buy at the store. I don't know why. But anyway, I twisted it and I used my hot glue gun to tack it into place. And this is going to end up being this guy's nose. So just use your hot glue and just tack it into place. Try not to use a lot of hot glue. Tack the end down as well, but leave the other piece of this flat. You don't want to take your twist all the way to the end, and you'll see why when I place this nose down. But just wrap that around, kind of make it a little tight, but let it have its own life. Let it flow just really the way that you think it's going to look best. Then go ahead and twist it, and when you're finished, cut it off at an angle going the opposite way that you were twisting, and then you'll be able to drop some hot glue down into that little hole there, and that's going to bring this all together. Might not look like much, but guys, I promise you, when you lay this down on the snowman, it just suddenly becomes a carrot nose, and I'm really, really pleased with it. Listen, guys, if you're liking today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure that you leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this Modern Country Farmhouse Snowman. So I go ahead and I do tack it down with some hot glue. And then we're going to bring in these teeny tiny little buttons just to give him a couple eyes. I opted not to do a button smile on him. I just think he's so cute. Guys, this is part of my 25 Days of Christmas Modern Country Farmhouse Snowman. I hope that you liked today's video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. Another video is coming soon, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, bye!